Live text access, training for real-time intralingual subtitlers. Unit 6, Velotyping, Introduction. This video lecture has been created by SSML and Velotype. Hello and welcome to this unit. I am Wim Gerbeks, owner of the Velotype company and intralingual real-time subtitler for television and for the deaf and hard of hearing. This introduction is aimed at introducing you with some of the topics that we're going to deal with in the different elements that compose it. I will first define velotyping. Then we will have a look into the product and process of velotyping. And finally, I will introduce you the skills of the velotypist. The agenda. Section 1. Definition. As you may already know, velotyping is a technique by which it is possible to produce real-time intralingual subtitles, as we call them. While I am sure you have already seen live subtitles in your life, or here in the different training materials of LTA Project, you may not know the details of the products and the processes. Let's start by defining velotyping. Velotyping is a fast writing technique that allows to produce real-time subtitles by means of a Velotype keyboard. To do so, the velotypist listens to the speaker and simultaneously presses a combination of keys instead of single keys to more rapidly produce the words of a transcript, a reformulation or a translation of the same speech that can be read by the hard of hearing or deaf or for an audience in real time. This old picture shows how live subtitling with Velotype was done many years ago at NOS in the Netherlands. Section 2. How does Velotype work? Here you can see how the keys of the Velotype are divided among the fingers of the hand. As you can see, the thumb, which is the most flexible finger of the hand, also plays an important role. And even the mouse of the hands are being used for the big purple keys. On the left side of the keyboard, the initial consonants of a syllable or word are being produced. In the middle, the vowels, and on the right hand side, the final consonants. The big no space key on the right is being used for connecting syllables together. This way, on average, 3 characters are produced with every chord of keys. Section 3. The products of velotyping. Velotyping can be used to produce TV subtitles, conference subtitles, or speech-to-text interpreting, parliamentary subtitles, and personalized access to any type of speech event. This is an example of TV subtitling, in this case also with a sign language interpreter. This is an example of conference subtitling or speech-to-text interpreting. This is an example of parliamentary subtitling, not to be confused with parliamentary reporting, which is the transcript of what is said by MPs for a future access. This is an example of personal access to daily events. In this case, 2 hard of hearing participants attend the meeting thanks to a live transcript. This is another example of personalized everyday access to a daily event. In this case, an Italian deaf student is attending an English class. The teacher speaks English and Italian alternatively. Section 4. The process of velotyping. One other thing that you may not know is that there are different types of approaches and workflows involving velotyping that we will see along the module. In TV subtitling, the whole process between the speaker speaking and the audience reading the subtitles consists of 5 steps, as you can see from this table. In particular, the first step is the speaker speaking, which is not that banal as it may seem, because depending on who speaks the source text and how, several approaches depend. Then the audio text is broadcast. Step 2. Here again, broadcasting has an influence on the final product, because depending on when and where the video to be subtitled is, broadcast subtitles will be more or less delayed. We will see this later in the module. The third step is the velotypist listening to the video to subtitle and trying to understand what the speaker says. The fourth step is the velotypist repeating, reformulating, or translating what the speaker has said by typing a repetition, reformulation, or translation on the fantastic keyboard called Velotype. Step number 5, the subtitles are finally sent on air and the audience can read them with a delay that ranges between 1 to 6 seconds, depending on the workflow. To facilitate its understanding, we have divided these 5 steps into 3 groups, which we will call texts. The first 3 steps can be grouped together and referred to as the source text. The fourth step can be referred to as the mid-text. The last step can be referred to as the target text. Section 5. The skills of the velotypist. As you have seen, a velotypist has to do many things at the same time. In this slide I sum up the 4 main macro areas systemizing the skills a velotypist has to possess. A velotypist has to possess psychocognitive skills, metalinguistic skills, typing skills, and editing skills. In this unit we will deal with all these skills. The summary. I hope this first video lecture on velotyping was a good start. We have seen what velotyping is and some of the products and processes of real-time intralingual subtitling through velotyping. Finally, I have introduced the skills of the velotypist, which will be dealt with into more details in the 5 elements of this unit. See you soon. References and disclaimer. Reference to the authors. Disclaimer. LTA, Live Text Access. Universitat Autónoma de Barcelona. SDI, Internationale Hochschule. Scuola Superiore per Mediatori Linguistici. ZDF Digital. European Federation of Hard of Hearing People FHO. Velotype. Subtitlers. European Certification and Qualification Association ECQA. Co-funded by the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. Erasmus Plus Project 2018-1-DE01-KA203-004218. The information and views set on this presentation are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official opinion of the European Union. Neither the European Union institutions and bodies, nor any person acting on their behalf, may be held responsible for the use which may be made of the information contained here.